There's times this year when I've seen him kind of hang his head when he's struggling. And I'm just curious what you think that kind of says, and if he needs to be more cognizant of that.
Yeah, as the leader of the team, as the point guard, you're kind of the temperature gauge of the team. If they see you slumping your head down, they'll do it too. And so he's got to regain a level of confidence. I will admit, Allison, I've not seen him do that, even though he's not playing well here in the first half. But I do think with them playing him off the ball, they got to get him something coming off the screen that he can get a good look. Because once he starts knocking over, that's 14 turnovers in this game. And folks, what that led to on the other end was a ball screen situation where North Carolina State didn't communicate 2 dribble straight line drive to the rim. And that's really been the difference in this game. Clemson's defense and awareness of where number 4 in red has been outstanding. And the defense on the other side for North Carolina offensive rebounds and turning it over.
Little extra pass, Henderson 3, that's off. Smith Jr. the offensive rebound. Good step through. A little more from Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah, and you know, they come into the year shooting almost 38% in conference games.
Smith, first couple of points for him in the game. DeVoe's first foul. North Carolina State looking for an offensive answer right now. Dennis Smith so far has not been able to get on track. Holmes checking in tight. Into the lane goes Smith, scoop it in.
All right, he just kept.
Abu. Smith, left-handed.
Yeah, you can see State is going to make a run at him.
Here it comes.
All right, NC State got lucky on that one. Everybody left Dennis Smith on an island. 4 players up the floor. He had nobody to inbound it to.
Smith, nice short pull-up on the baseline.
That time. Didn't need it. It looks like they're going to come on the dribble if they do double team him instead of coming on the catch.
State 0 points over the last 3 minutes, but still the Pack just down 69-72. Smith remedies.
State would point to. It's not just the fact that they were losing. It was the way they were losing basketball games, the margin, the lack of fight shown at times.
Smith wiggling inside, gets it to go, and he'll be at the line. Could be the next impactful scorer for Virginia.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll improve on the defensive end of the floor because you won't play for Tony unless you do. And I think his body will get stronger and better. Individuality.
And Allie, maybe a guy who could be a slasher type too, but just a freshman, could be a big impact guy.
Yeah, and that individuality that Doris was talking about shown with the man bun, right? I love it. I said, what does your mom think of this? He goes, oh, she doesn't exactly like it, but she says it personifies my personality. Goofy, infectious, always happy.
24%, so 67% beyond the line today. 5 on the clock here as Smith will lift it up there. And hit it. A three-pointer.
He just got to shoot that with a little more confidence. I don't think Lammers is going to get out there and block that one.
There's a steal triggered by Abu. Smith will try to complete it and does.
And Smith is this damn man, and he tries to draw the foul because he thought he ran into an NC State guy, but it was a Bondu that ran into him. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
NC State started 2 for 6. They're 3 of 4 since. Rowan out front. Here's Smith with a 3. He got it.
In transition.
Exactly. Here's Smith with a 3. Rattles around. Rowan gets the rebound. Blocked by Stevens. Out front, Smith up and under. Got it.
Well, that was a nice move.
Jackson will attack with that left hand. Can't get it to go. Good rebound by the Wolfpack. Capita. Here's Smith on the move inside. Up and under. Good. 7.5 left in the game. Here's Lammers inside looking for his first field goal of the night. He'll look at the next possession. Johnson in the front court. That's another key factor for NC State. They've been able to keep Lammers quiet offensively.
And that's, I don't know how Lammers missed that one. He was right by Capita. Capita may have gotten a hand on it. I'm not sure.
Here's Smith.
But that has complicated the Georgia Tech effort tonight. Lammers has not scored very effectively, and neither has Quentin Stevens.
Wolfpack now taking the three and making it.
And so that's a 4-point possession for Georgia Tech, and they're within 7. Or excuse me, 6.
2-possession ball game by threes. Big pressure on NC State to respond in this possession. Smith in the front court. Smith and Johnson. Wrong.
They got to go now.
7 on the shot clock. Here's Smith.
Oh my, what a big...
And out of the hands of Dory.
Just ragged play here.
It's a 4-on-3. Smith down the lane. And delivers to make it a...
And Notre Dame today.
Well, you know, really after Thursday, and we talked with our team, met with our team. I had a radio show that night. Most of the guys came. I was surprised. It actually made me feel real good. They all came down.
Dunk of the year.
And another turnover here, just really sloppy play, and the Irish give it right back. Well, it's starting very much the way the game started. And Mark Godfrey is going to give a quick hook here. And you wonder if it's to Yurt 7 after that turnover.
It's not exactly the same level of intensity required. Smith missed the shot, grabs his own rebound.
NC State, they had gotten it to 15, and all of a sudden, easy basket, easy basket.
Beecham has been the beneficiary of a lot of wide open looks from the perimeter. Castoria driving and...
This broadcast team, I can tell you that.
Just short again for Ryan. Smith had eyes on the rim. The lead has been as many as 24, and now on the breakaway, Smith.
Big fella turns. And Smith Jr. the rebound. State forges ahead. Rowan runs it down. And Barry is right there with Dennis Smith.
North Carolina will try to get out and pressure a little bit defensively.
Smith to the basket.
Wow.
Ties the Florida State, Notre Dame. The ACC and Dennis Smith.
Gets the ball 3 or 4 dribbles from the basket, and he starts to dribble. You got to go get the ball from him.
Smith scooped it up off the glass and in. Woo, tell it all, brother. 9 for Smith. Taken away. This could be something. Nope, he laid it in.
At that particular shot, the drive to the basket and the little floater in the lane.
Second field goal for Jackson Smith, a deep 3. Bradley to rebound. Rowan out of there. It is State Carolina after all, right? Smith, scoop and score.
Mark Godfrey this year. He has had a solid year for North Carolina. Established himself as one of the best point guards in the country.
Smith a 3. 88-62.
I would think he'd be known for the number of fouls in it.
Smith fights through and scores.
Thing, using his length, not falling for the pump fake, forcing Collins outside. NC State needs to get some kind of rhythm going right now. They're doing a lot of up and down, get a set play, run a little pick and roll to get Dennis Smith Jr. going.
Yurt 7 is from Turkey. Became eligible in mid-December. Up and under. Smith Jr.
Field goal shooting. Both of them with 12 points. NC State got to get on a little bit of a mini run right now going into the half to be able to get. How about that?
They led for 19 minutes and 1 second of the first half. Middaglu in close. Abu able to save it to Yurt 7. All the way to the rim, and that's Smith Jr.
You've got to be able to get out and challenge that shot. You can't give a guy like Collins a step away that's uncontested.
John Collins showing off a myriad of skills from all.
Play with a chip on their shoulder, and they've got guys that are willing to get in and pay the time, and it's showing dividends out on the field, on the court.
It's a layup for Smith inside the building all week long, and we expect nothing less from the Big Apple, New York City and Brooklyn. That's when you know it's your day.
That's all good today.
Just shaking his head on the way back.
Nice finish by Dennis Smith.
Wow.
got chickens.
You got to him. You got to him. That infectious smile of yours has gotten to him. Uh-oh.
First, more.
That's just straight up uncured bacon right there.
And that's 34 consecutive games that he has scored double digits in points. 34.
Garrett Seven had the angle there to attack the basket, and we talked about being fearless as Dennis Smith.
Body like that, if you're an NBA team, I mean, look, he's 7'1". He's a physical specimen. He's shown an ability to get better and better. Take a chance on him in the NBA draft?
Well, I think what I'm looking at is his feet. Can he guard against ball screens? And when it's necessary in short clock situations, can he sit down, get wide, and make a guard take a contested jump shot? I think he can.
3 on the shot clock. 2, Smith forces. And it goes. Dennis Smith.
Area, it's buckets every time.
Free throw shooting, and for a while, until Rattan Mays bought into being the point guard, they didn't have a real traditional point guard like they did with Dennis Smith, but his defense has been outstanding as Smith goes to the hoop and lays it in.
Murphy posting up against Yurt 7. Trying to pass underneath, deflected, stolen now by Smith. Smith to the hoop, puts it in. It needs a timeout. 8 points for Davon Reed.
I don't think you should be particularly concerned if you're NC State about that shot. That was a very, very deep one. Davon Reed wants to take those. I think you got to give them up.
Smith answers the deep 3 of his own.
Boy, he missed the Zundu.
Lawrence for 3, no. Anya for that reach.
I think when you're pushing the ball up the court for Miami, Izundu is going to run the court, and Anya is trying to guard him, and Anya can't catch him.
To Izundu.
He just jumped over the top of B.J. Anya, and B.J. Anya can barely get up and down the court after a couple of times.
He looks winded right now. Smith Jr. for 3, starting to heat up. Lawrence. Double teams. Abu takes it away.
And Izundu was all alone under the basket, but they didn't see it.
Wow! A 6-point game.
He's the guy we talked about before the game. If Miami's going to come back, it's going to be Davon Reed who has to lead them.
Just about a 4.5-second difference shot clock to game clock here. It's freshman versus freshman. Smith versus Brown. Shot clock at 6. Smith pulls up deep from field. He's on fire. So Hewell will be charged for the foul, but it's not a shooting foul. Smith, step back, difficult shot. He's got 23 off the bench. He's been huge for the Hurricanes.
And that's one of those plays where, because it was such a bad miss, North Carolina State had no chance to get the rebound.
Smith, oh, you just can't stop that. Game, 7:31 to go. Justin Kutcher alongside Dan Bonner from PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina. The first meeting between these two teams, December 31st. It was an 81-63 Miami victory.
Again, I think North Carolina State needs to get the ball in the hands of Abu on the interior going against Lawrence. I think they've got an advantage there.
Smith Jr. for 3. It was a 9-point lead for the Wolfpack at the half. NC State has 6 field goals here in the second half. They had 18 in the first half. A lot of one-on-one here by Smith.
Yeah, too much one-on-one by Smith.
He puts it in. They get 2 points.
Will come and trap you every time.
Start out in a man battle. Fires away from 3, and Syracuse vacates the offensive glass. So Carolina pushes. Look for about 4 or 5 passes. That's what Gottfried was looking for from the team. Smith Jr. wide open for a 3, and he buries it. The schemes, figuring out what they're trying to do. I think we're seeing that a little bit of that tonight.
Well, John Gillen, for example, at Colorado State, all they did for him is they said, when it gets under 10, you make a play.
Wow. Smith Jr. down with Johnson, but Rowan's going to step into it and miss. He was looking for a 7-3. His pass. Woo! Oh! And it's on the app, and it streams live on Watch ESPN. Rowan, no good. Offensive tip-in.
First coach to go to that national championship with 2 different schools. Steal by Smith, and he'll lay it in. Out of the court. As they attack that rim to our right, and they've got possession. So Smith is in there with 2 personal fouls, Dan, just 2 points, 1 of 4 from the floor.
The game here is at a critical stage. North Carolina State has to mount some sort of a comeback here, and they've got to do it right now. So I don't think you can take Smith out of the game.
Well, that was a strong drive right
down there. An RPI of 69, a strength of schedule of 74. That's why this game today was such a big opportunity for them. You can get a road win against a really good team. That helps your RPI greatly. And what everybody's looking for now is you're trying to position yourself not only for the ACC tournament, but for that NCAA tournament. Do you have a sufficiently good resume that you can get yourself an at-large bid to the tournament?
Last 4 against what would generally be considered an easy schedule in this conference. No easy outs, but they've lost to Boston College, Georgia Tech, and Wake Forest. Their only win in the last 4 against Pittsburgh.
NC State went to a 2-3 zone on that last possession. Now Jason Tatum switches off with Emil Jefferson to guard Dennis Smith.
There's the talent of Smith. Accepted the pass ahead.
It's a huge difference for Duke in their defense when Emil Jefferson's on the floor. He's just so smart. He's always positioned very well, and he talks his teammates through it. And just about any action you're guarding, if you can't talk it, you can't guard it.
Dennis Smith for 3.
Maverick Rowan grabbed that rebound. NC State going back to the 2-3 zone.
Wow. Smith again.
Seven in there, and Ali Kaboo, the lane is a little bit clogged. It's awfully difficult for Dennis Smith to drive into the lane. They need to open notwithstanding him knocking in 44, 45 points and a half on the road. That puts so much pressure on your offense to execute.
The team picked 6th in the preseason ACC poll out of 15. They're in serious trouble with an eye toward making it back toward the NCAA tournament.
Here, that'd be a big change going into halftime.
Smith lets it fly. What a half for Dennis Smith.
8 double figures in just about every game. I think every game. And he has been really good all season long. Now advantage situation for NC State.
And Smith's going to take advantage all the way to the bucket to tie the game. High expectations for Duke unmet so far, but a long way to go in this season. Jones open deep 3, no.
He was wide open, but you want to see Duke try to drive it a little bit, and they're not doing that. But now, NC State and Duke played in Washington, D.C. last year in the ACC tournament. He had 19 and 9 in that one.
Giles missed the front of one and one. Smith gives them the lead. Rebounds for Abu to go in 19 points.
He went straight up and got that with both hands, didn't he? Same play.
Smith to the bucket. And this is the largest.
But keep John Collins without the foul. 1 of 2 at the line for Collins. Dennis Smith Jr., such a highly touted recruit, showing why. Not wanting to pick up his second foul. 2 for your 7, and here's Smith. Here we go. Dennis Smith Jr. up and under. Takes it himself.
He needs to come back to NC State because this kid needs to get stronger and bigger, and he'll do that with the Wolfpack.
Smith off the turnover. Big throwdown.
It is a challenge for B.J. Anya to step out beyond the three-point line and try to guard him.
Hit with a 1-point lead under a minute to go in the first half. Here's the lob. Smith somehow finishes.
And what a distraction that is. It's almost like a racehorse with those blinders on. If you can't see, it's going to bother you.
Yeah, Kevin Stallings said he had to almost lean forward to see anything. Went 0 for 10 from the field against Miami, but it's a different Michael Young tonight. There's a... Well, all those injuries to the youngsters that the Duke Blue Devils faced allowed Luke Kennard to get into that starting lineup, and it's tough to take him out now. He's been sensational.
Hey, Rich, I was at practice in October. He was on the second team. I mean, he wasn't with the first unit, and then when the opportunity presented itself, man, did he take advantage of it and run.
There's a nice take by Smith. Like a special power-up, extra call goes your way, or is it just a rounded number that we like?
I'm going to go with C, option C, because I believe that's pretty much all that's there for them.
There's Dennis Smith
One of the top freshmen in the country. Lines it up from beyond the arc, and Smith gets it to go. True three-point threat.
And Todrick Jackson actually getting an earful from Josh Pastner. Even though he knocked up a three-pointer, Josh Pastner more concerned about what he did on the previous possession defensively.
Another three for Dennis. Kicks it to the corner. Henderson's three, short. Smith skies for the rebound and puts it home for two.
One for Kobe's, right?
It was a big one, though. Okogie's got a dozen. Smith for three. Good. His third triple.
I'm only the second freshman to ever lead the ACC in assists and steals. Tyler Ennis did it a few years back, of course, at your alma mater, Syracuse.
Smith again.
Inside the paint, off the dribble, knocking down the jumper, but continues to make big shots for the Yellow Jackets.
Smith from the rim, the 22. Work on Anya. The turnaround is not there. Smith with his fourth rebound.
And Lammer still unable to get a field goal. Give B.J. Anya and Yerk Seven both credit for what they've been able to do defensively, and give this young man the opportunity they've had when they've gotten a chance to run.
Anya looking for help. 10 to shoot. Smith over Hayward. 26 for
in 3 straight games.
1 out of 2 there for Stevens. The lead is 11. That last foul on Dorn, so he has 4. He's out of the game. Rowan, Smith, Johnson, Henderson, and Abu. And Smith all the way for the easy 2. Down the lane. No good. Rebound to Rowan. Less than a minute left in regulation. It's a 9-point game. Smith from deep. Got it. And it's
rebounds and 7 block shots.
Smith has not scored yet in the game for NC State. Wolfpack has only made 2.
Boston College transition defense, I think to this point, halfway through the first half, except for a couple of instances, they've kept NC State in the half court.
It's good to see Markel Johnson back into the game for NC State. He had to leave momentarily to get that shoulder checked. Up and under, and Smith. Popovich goes old school, and that one comes off a heel.
Tommy Heinsohn would appreciate that move.
Hesitation from Smith. Into the corner, and it's all net. Turner back to Tavy. Wants another 3. I guess you classify that as a heat check after you make your first of the season. You try to make number 2, and he came up short.
I think Jim Christian may put the brakes on that shot now. You got your 1 for the year.
This is Smith Jr. Oh, that's a quick first step, Mike. He got by Bowman.
November. Henderson launches. And the rebound ricochets out for Smith. To the basket. Robinson left open. Can't hit it. Smith skies for the board. Wolfpack by 20 and looking for more. Smith to the basket.
To Nolan Smith, coupled with the talented roster, I think they're going to be in good hands until Coach K can take back command.
You know him as well as anyone. How will his personality be different from Coach Krzyzewski?
Well, he's going to be who he is, and Coach K has given him a lot of room to help run that basketball program. So the players obviously know who he is.
Smith into the traffic, and Hill emerges and then lost it. Rowan behind the back to Smith.
A lot of contact. Well, you know at halftime, Buzz Williams challenged his team to play hard, play with a sense of passion and urgency, but you must be smart. Matt Hill, too valuable.
Stop and start. Dennis Smith Jr. already has a double-double, second one of the year, but he's looking for more. Uh-oh.
And when he's on the break, put the wife and kids to bed because it's going to be a show.
And a chance for a three-point.
Ty Outlaw knocks down a three-point shot, and make no mistake, Virginia Tech's not going to go quietly. They're going to continue to compete and battle until the final horn.
9 points now for Outlaw off the bench. Smith Jr. still in the ball game. He's got a triple-double tonight. Just the second in the history of the NC State program. He joins Julius Hodge. Shot clock down to 7. And Smith with a left hand.
Really stepped up to the plate in this contest. And
oh, there's the 11th rebound, and he tips.
Calming down, not getting up into the height, and let the game come to you.
Smith Jr. going to the hoop, uses the glass and puts it in. 8 points for Jaquan Newton so far. A tip ball. Here's a turnover. Smith Jr. in transition puts it in.
How many times?
Kick out. Smith Jr. for 3. Short again. Gets his own miss. Hangs. Puts it off the glass and in.
Little small plays that it gives your team another possession. And again, it allows your other bigs to be able to get some rest from time to time.
Dennis Smith all the way to the hoop. Puts it in with the left hand.
Foul, and then I thought the putback by Murphy was basically a goaltend, but hey, again, that's why I'm sitting over here next to you.
Smith, the step back for 3. He finally hit. Smith got fouled on the shot. Wow. And now he'll have a chance for the offensive rebound, and then you hit a 3. Smith to answer right back. He does.
They're a veteran team, so they're not going to be afraid. They're not going to get big-eyed and see this arena and be, just happy to be here. They're coming to win.
Here's Dennis Smith Jr. And his rebound for Ryder. And it's Jimmy Taylor. Here's Dennis Smith Jr. Watch out.
Got the ball down there, and then again, that's in the paint. That's where Ryder needs to be going and get the ball moving, get NC State bodies moving.
Tip pass. Capita will give it back to Henderson. And they'll look to reset.
Yeah, Ryder has very active hands, so NC State needs to be careful with these passes.
Smith Jr. looks to create. He'll step back and bury it. Anthony Durham in there to follow it up.
Yeah, well, that's where Ryder has decided that, you know what, we were out of character early. Now we're going to start attacking the basket. Now they're attacking the basket and getting second shots. Good shot by Junior. You have to hit
for a guy, but you never really know what you get until he laces him up and steps onto the court. And Jordan's turned out to be really good already.
Right. Well, there's a learning curve for Jordan as well, and Jordan has been really good this year, and he still has a lot to learn and a lot of growing to do.
Dennis Smith Jr. There's the jammy. Scorciani type number to put up in a single game.
Yeah, well, he's got the ability to do it every night. He's got the ability to do it every night, and he's got guys. They really never allowed Ryder a chance to get confident. And right there, that's another great steal. Great hands by Dennis doing it on both ends.
Hey, you can just tell he's feeling it right now. Another 3 on the way. Bang!
Don't. That's something that NC State has a big advantage in. And here goes Dennis down. You're going to see something special. Well, I love the way Burr pushed the ball up the court, found the shooter, and he knocked it down.
That's something really important to note on McNeese State. They're one of the top teams in the country in terms of offensive tempo. There's a 3.
Great numbers, but he's capable of taking over games all by himself.
Which is scary for other teams in the ACC because Dennis Smith, the only player for NC State that has scored in double figures every game this season. He's already halfway there. Make it 8 for TSJ.
Johnson has really been a surprise for the Pack.
Another sub for NC State. Ted Capita comes in for Malik Abu. Johnson to Smith.
Slam it down the way Dennis does. It's incredible, but wonderful pass.
And another turnover. It's showtime.
Needs to get a touch. It's really hurting McNeese State. They're 7 for 19. They're 0 for 7 from 3. You know, they got to be able to knock down some shots.
Long pass. Smith got a fingertip on it, and he'll jam it.
Okechukwu. He could have taken it the first time. He didn't. Second time he ends up finding the open burr for 3.
Dennis Smith. Some players on the court right now will be NBA players, but several more will probably get an opportunity to play in Europe. Is it easier to transition from the European game to the American style, or to go the other way and go American?
Well, I think it'd be hard. You know, the European.
Abu really pushing up on Millen, who can shoot that three-point shot. He'll shoot over him. Tough shot.
That's a tough shot.
And I think the crowd influenced Millen. There was more time on the shot clock than he thought. They were counting down.
Yeah, he heard the crowd and threw up a shot.
Smith Jr.
Great pass by your 7 to the corner.
Capita boards up the miss. Maverick Rowan, one of those missing pieces. Smith Jr. will try a 3.
He just couldn't knock it down.
Smith is open. Affects Fairfield, but for the time being, only down 11. Cobb attacking. No good. That's one he's got to make. Fancy for Markel Johnson. Dennis Smith Jr. back into the game for Mark Godfrey. Johnson passes up an open 3. Dennis Smith with 5 to shoot. Driving on Cobb. Unreal finish. Unbelievable. So Abu is into double figures. That's now 4 for the Wolfpack. Kasababu, oh, he was just a little too far out to slam it home. Had to use the glass.
I thought he got caught in between. He wanted to slam it or he wanted to make a shot. He was caught in between.
There's Dennis Smith. More than 7 minutes left. I could get used to this.
Yeah, you and me both.
You know, when they changed the rules last year, made the shot clock 30 seconds, and, you know, made the fouls a little more stringent, at least in the early going, until guys got used to them to help out with freedom of movement. This was the idea. More scoring. More scoring from Dennis Smith.
His last 4 games out, so that's a good sign for him and the Wolfpack.
Here's a steal, and it'll be an easy slam for Smith.
Dorms. Good transition defense by Appalachia State. That's a big key as well. Make sure you're making NC State play 5-on-5.
There's Smith. What a smooth game for a freshman. Everyone in attendance anxiously awaiting his insertion into this game as App State finally gets on the board. Here's Anya, double team. 10 on the shot clock.
And pretty good rotation defensively out of the double team for App. Wow, that's just a 4-5-40.
At this rate, Dino, they need a couple of those touchdowns tonight. Smith muscles his way in for the 3-point.
That's the best team in America that I've seen, Rich, and I've seen a lot of them practice, but they haven't had Harry Giles back yet. But you know what? If Mark can get all the pieces in place, get him going for another 4 or 5 games, wow.
Who holds the all-time total scoring record, end of the shot clock. No good by Dorn. Anya. And the rebound of the Pack. Rodney Monroe scored more points than anyone.
All the fire and ice. Chris Porciani on the assist end of a lot of those points.
Who is here today? Dorn. Outside Smith. Nothing but net. On the lob. some game. Smith Jr. driving and reverses.
One foul for NC State to give before they're in the penalty.
Smith picks off the entry pass. Racehorse to the other end, lays it up and in. Second shot, no good. Rebound Henderson. NC State down 2. 1:08 and counting. The freshman Dennis Smith. Henderson gathers back to Smith. That cost him a couple of seconds on the shot clock. But now it's Smith backing it out.
Nice job, Jordan Reed fighting over that screen. Shot clock under 10.
7, 6 to shoot. Smith barrels in, takes the jumper. Tie game.
19 turnovers in that game for NC State. They'll try to limit that today as they win the opening tip. NC State in the white. Boston University is in the red.
Well, and BU used a lot. It was a close loss to UConn their last time out, and they played a lot of zone in that game, and maybe forced into it here, but that's dangerous against NC State here at home with their perimeter shooting.
Back 3-0 here at PNC Arena. Smith Jr. rattles it home.
Again, one of the things NC State talked about, defending through the possession instead of reaching toward the end, and they jump shot that time to bail them out.
Long distance 3 is intercepted. Johnson puts it up.
Better job this half too, but NC State eliminating Boston. You know, 1 shot.
Dorn and Henderson combining for 42, and it's a tomahawk.
All 3 games since his return from that suspension. They're hoping to change that tonight. Black's on the board. His first 3. They can't give up offensive rebounds. NC State back-to-back possessions gives up an offensive rebound, leads to 5 points on those 2 possessions. Smith get 2 from Malik Abu. Hill rises up. His 3 is strong, and a good rebound for Abu, and here comes North Carolina State. Down 5. Dennis Smith creating inside. Thorne. Bad shot. The big man, good hustle to get it back, but then he throws it right into the hands of Henderson. Smith, and that's going to be a goal tip.
Ingram open for 3. Back iron. Custer backpedaling. Smith Jr. will drive right at him. Once finished inside.
You know, that's the problem, you know, in talking with Mark earlier today, was this small lineup, those type of things are tough.
Markel Johnson, assist of the season. Richardson had it poked away, regathered, and the rebound will come to Dennis Smith. Missed by Vlatko Granic. Quick shot.
Weak side help. Anybody on the weak side needs to pin back down. And that's what we call help defense.
Dennis Smith Jr. is feeling it right.
Did 3. Ball movement. Loyola doing a great job of finding the open shooter, but NC State needs to figure out why they're getting so wide open.
7-point lead. There's Smith. Boy, both teams. No points over the last 2:15 and counting.
They're sitting in a little 3-2 zone. They've been man-to-man most of the game, just switching it up a little bit.
A different look right before halftime. Dennis Smith, tough shot. A little scoop.
They need to rebound as a pack. Uh-oh, here we go.
Forward pass. Richardson's back, and Smith just blows by him for the lay-in.
What job, Markel Johnson.
When the point guard doesn't touch the ball, the turnovers are going to go up a little bit. Dennis Smith is the NC State point guard. All by himself. He has been cleared to come back, we've been told. There's a big block by Abu, and this turns into a transition bucket. Johnson to...
There they go. I tell you, he makes it look so easy. He shot the ball extremely well. Imagine if they weren't shooting the ball well.
Rejected by Hicks. And Dennis Smith on the he goes again. Andre Jackson gives Loyola the lead with 7:30 to go here in the second half. You know he's just not going to miss. You give him an open look.
He's 6 for 9, shooting a high percentage. I mean, going into the game shooting 79% is just amazing. And that's not off of one game.
Dennis Smith. Custer able to find Richardson. Tried to get it back to him, and it was picked away by Dennis Smith. All the way to the rack.
Tell you, he's something else.
Born, Darren. Great player for Purdue.
How long ago?
It's been so long, I can't even remember.
You had trouble finding the house, didn't you?
But,
Dennis Smith right over Newkirk.
Charlie Brown, the freshman, putting on a show.
Now this freshman draws a double team. He's able to find Johnson at the top of the key. Right back to Dennis Smith.
And we
haven't showed it a whole lot in this tournament, though.
Well, Creighton shot him out of it. They tried to do it with Creighton, but they have so many weapons from beyond the arc that it was not successful.
Ball reversal down to Abu, who's doubled. Smith elects to drive with the circular move. He's got the English.
Young team problems. They have to make the proper adjustments, and you have to do it on the fly.
Now it's Smith from the outside.
17 points, 8 rebounds in 24 minutes of action.
Dennis Smith with the hip screen. As confident. Now he's trying to go coast to coast. Seals off Abu. And it is Malik Abu, the junior, who's got the ball.
More of the pace that the Wolfpack want.
Even with the pace, 3 of their guards have played every minute of this game, including Dennis Smith Jr., who connects on another 3 from New York. They were just 1 out of their first 5. Tie game at 22, about halfway through the half. Dennis Smith Jr. with the deep 3 on the lane.
Riding like yeast, flowing like helium, the big man.
Smith bumps off him, goes right off.
Fan out to the corner. He says, when you cut to the ball, make it count. You got to make sharp cuts, and for heaven's sakes, get back on defense. And now they're up.
Flying down the lane in the first half, outscoring NC State by 11 since then. So they go to their freshman. He's got 4 fouls. Maurice Watson. That zone works. Got a bad deep shot late in the shot clock. Smith scoops up the ball after he lost the handle and converts.
Patience. Excellent patience in the half court. Watson's man got caught watching the paint dry. Watson makes the post cut. Easy basket. And you know that your point guard, that was Foster, but you know your point guard Watson's going to find you. Foster makes that back cut.
7 assists now for Watson.
Darren, execution.
Same spot for Lopez. Anya Corrals. Here's Smith, the transition 3 for the freshman.
No college. He ends up at Grizz, Montana.
Here's Torin Dorn now. Also checking back into the game is Darius Hicks. There's the 3 for Dennis Smith.
Make the driver drive into another defender and don't turn it over.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Markel Johnson had 3 on that one. That is an active freshman.
Well, Montana did not recognize the change in defenses and never got the offense rebooted.
Here it's Dennis Smith, nothing but nets.
Better look than that, shaking his head on the way down court. He's still talking to himself. He would like to have that shot back.
Percentage-wise, the best shooter on the team. Nice find, and Smith has the finish. Look out, Dennis Smith.
Pass was a little low, and he kicked the ball.
The second turnover by the visitors from Brooklyn. Hopkinson playing up on Dennis Smith Jr. He'll take a baseline jumper and hit. today. He's a big-time recruit and another big body for the Wolfpack. Sanabria is blocked by Abu. Here comes Dennis Smith. He's fouled, and the basket.
Whereas Capita is more of like, he'll be around the rim, garbage guy, that type of guy, Dennis Rodman type of guy. You know, he could be that type of guy. So he's probably rated higher because of his offensive ability.
Back in.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. Looked like a bit of a push-off, but hey, it's a contact sport.
And some half-court pressure from the Eagles.
Right. They have to find ways to speed NC State up and try to make them take bad shots.
Good give from Henderson. 16 from 3.
Yeah, well, that zone is giving the illusion that the three-point shot is there all the time.
Fast break opportunity, and so it's loud on defense. Brown with the bounce pass. Simmons goes up, is swatted. Oh, a big block by Malik Abu.
Big time block. Big time. The rim protector back there. Georgia Southern really needed that possession, but it's still not out. It's still not out of it. They get a stop here, they can get right back in it.
Got to get the stop. Smith Jr. will lay it in.